Well then, Renault have been busy. In the past year, they've released the Renault Megane 100% electric, released a new hybrid SUV in the Renault Austral, and also announced the new look Renault Clio. But now, they have just unveiled a brand new vehicle, because this is the Renault Rafale. Renault have really entered a new chapter into their status on the car industry by revamping and redesigning pretty much their entire lineup. First, making the much-loved Megane all-electric, then they replaced the Kadjar with the all-new Renault Austral, and now updating the look of the very much-loved Renault Clio. And now the new edition of the all-new Renault Rafale. And it is clear what direction they are headed in. Electrification. I mean, there's no wonder in the current climate in the car industry. Renault have released one new EV and 3 hybrid cars. But today, if we focused on the new Renault Rafale, let's first talk about that design. The front grille feels very uniform to the design of the Austral and Clio, with that new look pattern front grille and also the striking LED design. It's clear that Renault want a very much uniform and modernised look to their whole lineup, and they're achieving that. The LED headlights all through this front design gives it quite a fierce look. It's a very bold stance, quite a sporty looking SUV. Now, you're probably thinking, Rafale, that's a bit of a strange name for a car. Why have they named that? Well, it's actually a very important reason, and quite a nice reason, because it's a piece of history. You see, in 1934, a plane called the Codron Renault Rafale flew a record-breaking 277 miles per hour. So it's named after a piece of aviation history. But does its performance match that? Well, the Rafale isn't exactly a Typhoon fighter jet when it comes to performance, but then again, it's not exactly a paraglider, because the Rafale has that E-Tech hybrid powertrain installed, very much similar, I mean, pretty identical to that seen in the all-new Renault Austral. You get a 400-volt battery which produces 200 horsepower, with the latter E-Tech 4x4 version providing 300 horsepower, fuel consumption of 60.1 miles per gallon, and the ability to drive upwards of 683 miles from a full tank. So no mid-journey refuel required. Like the Austral, the Rafale comes with that new technology by Renault called 4Control. Now, let me delve a bit deeper into that, because to be honest, it's quite an impressive system. This allows for 4-wheel control of the vehicle. Now, obviously, if you want to turn left, your front wheels are going to turn left. Now, what happens on the rear axle is actually pretty impressive, because the rear axle will turn in the opposite direction upwards of 5 degrees. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot. That seems like a tiny little sort of mismatch of turning. However, this allows for a large SUV to have the same turning circle that of a city car. So the Rafale exterior design is very much inspired by aviation, inspired by an aircraft fuselage, but is that the same for the interior? Well, slightly, due to the center console with what looks like a plain throttle. However, what this is a nice armrest which houses wireless charging and can actually cover your storage. But apart from that, it's a completely opposite to the cockpit in a sense. It's very spacious, striking design. Another similarity, it is very high tech. You get a 12.3-inch driver display, 12-inch infotainment screen, and 9.3-inch head-up display. Infotainment comes with built-in Google and up to 50 apps being installed, obviously including Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can also integrate your infotainment into your driver display, as it can house your built-in navigation, meaning no need to take your eyes off the road. Like new Renault models before it, the Rafale is a very safe car with up to 32 advanced driver safety systems installed, one of which being adaptive cruise control with stop and go, and add that the lane keep assist, the car somewhat drives itself. A bit of autopilot, the aviation kicking in again. The interior will also house the new Renault trim called Esprit Alpine, which features sport-style seats and Alpine branding throughout. What I do really like about the interior of the Rafale, even though it seems very much reminiscent of the Austral, especially with that Alpine trim, the seats and the overall design, it's slightly different. It means that each new model coming out, you're going to get a unique driving experience. You're going to get a unique looking car. It's not just copy and paste. Yes, the infotainment screen and the driver display, and also that bit in the center console, is very much similar to the Austral. However, the seat designs are completely different. You have different colours, makes it stand out from the crowd. Also worth pointing out that the Rafale is an eco-friendly interior, as it is the first 61% recycled Alcantara interior. One really impressive feature about the Renault Rafale is in fact the sunroof. Well, the panoramic sunroof to be precise, because looking at it, it looks like a typical sunroof in a car, but if we delve a bit deeper, it's a very impressive piece of kit. This is called a solarbay, and the Rafale is the first car in the world to use this iteration. The glass can lighten and darken as you please to give you more protection from the sun, make it lighter, etc. And it can also be voice controlled. Impressive stuff. So then, the Renault Rafale, very much groundbreaking vehicle on the market, which has been inspired by groundbreaking aviation history. And alright, this car might not be able to fly, but it does pretty much everything else a car should do and more. It is expected to be released later this year / early next year, so keep your eyes out for more information about the Renault Rafale and comment down below what do you think and your first impressions of this all new SUV. Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know in the comments.